Age of Enlightenment, part 24, the black half. Well, in my last post, I mentioned I was biracial. I seem to be pretty comfortable with mentioning that I was in a biracial marriage and that my wife was white. I'll show you how white she was. Her and my older son went to Antarctica. Yes, that Antarctica. And she asked me if I wanted to go. And I'm like, after 26 years, is it your first day in this marriage? The answer was no, was oh, hell no. I think I have like Chris Tucker on my black shoulder. I have like an angel over here and Chris Tucker feeding me lines of reason. But there was no way I was going. And I did check, and there weren't any brothers on this thing. I think maybe there was a scientist that was like dark skinned, but he didn't have a fro. So, yes, I made the right call. It's always the brother that they lose. Like, oh, we've only lost one guy, and Mr. Dada, we don't know where he is. Anyway, moving forward, I take liberties because I grew up in a black home. I was adopted by a black couple. I called them my adoptive parents, but they were my God-given parents. I can't imagine being raised by anyone else. They were absolutely amazing. But I recall the sense of community within the black community. First of all, the Army community. A lot of the black NCOs, families were close because the black NCOs were very close. And we lived in a neighborhood, once we were able to move off of base housing, it was a lot of NCOs, even some commissioned officers lived in our neighborhood. And it was awesome because there was Korean, Filipino, black, white. There was a great mix. And as we started to get older, my sister and I became members at a church, and the church community, especially within the black community I grew up in, was really strong and really powerful within our community, the way they helped everyone in the community equally. And everybody served as much as they received. And the school I went to was all white, but I remember I would, pick up a phrase at school. I'm like, golly gee, let's play some basketball. And I get off the bus, and they're like, hey, we don't do golly gee here. I learned how to fight at a very young age, but it was all good because everybody has to deal with bullying sooner or later, especially if you're a guy. And I love the way the black community has bonded over the years. I mean, to come here from nothing, in bondage, and to achieve everything they've done is nothing short of miraculous, especially with redlining and the civil rights thing and all the things that were against them legislatively and legally. It blows my mind. So if I joke about growing up in the black community, just understand I am proud that I grew up in the black community, and they're phenomenal. So I love both halves that God gave me, and you can probably see it in my marriage. You can definitely see it in my kids. I got one dark hair, dark eyed, one blonde hair, and blue eyed. But folks, make sure we all get together. All right, let's do that.